Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you some tools, tricks, and ideas, some ways you can use persuasion in specifically about emails. But persuasion really applies to pretty much everything. You want to put persuasion into your social media posts, including videos. Hopefully, I'm being persuasive with you now. You also want to make sure pretty much any message that you're sharing with folks has an element of persuasion, particularly in the beginning, because what you need to do is you need to stop folks in their tracks before you can ever share their message. Because if you don't stop them in the world of scrolling and the constant bombardment that we have of messaging that we get, each and every one of us, each and every minute of the day, getting people's attention has never been more difficult. So by being persuasive, you're going to help yourself sell more beer. And this is a tool that I think you'll use over and over and over again. I've got an entire guide that's available as a PDF that I want to get to you and I want to put in your hands. So do this right now. Down in the comments, put send it, and I'll make sure you get a copy of this for free. Let's dive into things. While my videos definitely target and are specifically for brewers of craft beer, brew pub owners, those types of folks, my videos and the concepts that I share really do apply to pretty much every business. And you may or may not agree with that if you've watched some of my other videos. But I think as we're talking about the power of persuasion, easy for me to say, the power of persuasion, I think everybody's got to agree that this applies to all businesses because persuasion, that is the essence of advertising and marketing. Being able to persuade someone is the idea of presenting them with some concepts and thoughts that will lead them to the conclusion that you want them to get to. And in this case, it is to buy more or try your craft beer. And that works and applies to everything from folks who are trying to sell cars, folks who are trying to get clients who are attorneys, sell vacuum cleaners. It applies to absolutely everything. So this video and these concepts really do apply to everyone. So if you're not a craft brewer and you've come across this, it's because you're looking for ideas and probably ways to increase sales. And that's exactly what these elements are going to do. So let's dive into things. The first persuasive element I want to talk about is pain points. You want to tap into problems your audience faces. Could be a situation tied to nothing to do on any given day. It could be tied to folks who want something that hasn't been available. It could be, here's a non-brewery element, struggling to save for retirement. Here's how. If someone is struggling for that, you're providing them with the answer. And if that's a pain point they have, they're going to open it up. It could be looking to have a great time this Friday night. Here's how. The here's how is a great tool, but you can do it in a lot of different ways. Discover can often be a great lead-in to that. Discover how this IPA will change the way you look at craft beer. Discover the solution to your boring Tuesday nights. That would lead into any type of an event or recurring Tuesday night thing you could be doing. It could be, bring your own vinyl. It could be trivia. But you want to highlight a pain point. In that situation, it's folks with nothing to do on Tuesdays. And if you're looking for something to do on Tuesdays and you get that email, you're probably going to open it up and check out exactly what it is. The next element I want to touch on is emphasizing solutions. You want to frame your email as a solution to something that the reader will want. It could be something like fix your sleep schedule in just 5 days. It could be a situation where what you're trying to do is you've recognized that the marketplace doesn't have anything. It could be tied to an event that you're having, let's say an event that's tied to a good cause. It could be, help thousands of people insert your town in just 5 days or next week. Can you see how what we're doing now is We're going to the solution, which a lot of times can also be tied to your call of action. It could be, as we were just talking about, an event or a weekly situation you're doing. It could be tied to a new release of a beer. Now let's talk about offering shortcuts or quick fixes, because people really do like them, don't they? People, if they're offered something that's simple, easy, actionable idea, they'll often gravitate towards it. Could be something like the fastest way to organize your inbox today. Who doesn't have an inbox overflowing? I do. Let's say you want to do something tied around offering NFL games, a lot of TVs in your tap room. You could put something like, Sunday football has never been like this. It's amazing. Now what you're doing is you're providing a quick fix. Now their Sundays are going to be fantastic, and it's tied around the NFL. And if someone's looking for a way to kind of enhance their experience of watching games, you now have provided a solution and a quick fix to that, and folks are going to love it. Now let's talk about revealing secrets. And we're diving into the first three are some of the basics. Now we're getting into some high-end stuff that I really dig. So let's dive into this. This is not everyday type of email subject line. You got to use this sparingly. If you overuse it, it essentially kills it. But what you're doing is you're creating a massive amount of curiosity. An example of this outside of the beer industry could be the secret to marketing like a pro. I might want to use that in some other emails or videos, right? For a brewery, it could be something like, no one's ever made a cask ale like this, ... before. I'm sharing how I make the area's most popular IPA. Want to find out how? It's another one. Think about that as far as maybe you're doing a meet the brewer type of a thing. And folks who are really into craft beer and probably home brewers would absolutely love to attend that. So that's a way you can kind of reveal secrets. This is one that I love, telling stories, because it's tied to your brand, your business's aura. I've got a video all about creating that. The link is right here. If you've not watched that, that's something, especially going forward, you absolutely have to do. It's not a long video, but it's got a ton of power. Now, when you're telling stories, you want to share personable or relatable experiences. It can be tied to how I lost 15 pounds without giving up pizza. It could also be tied to, let's say your new beer release. Want to taste the IPA that I spent 15 years trying to create. You see what we're doing now is that's tied to your long journey of trying to make this amazing IPA. And you're really creating a lot of interest for someone who likes an IPA because, gosh, it took you 15 years to do this. Yeah, I'd love to kind of taste it and see what you've been working on. Next, let's talk about asking questions, because questions really engage folks. If I say, I ask you a question about something that I know about you, you're going to respond. And the fact that I know something about you also creates a connection. Obviously, if we're friends, we have that. But this is a great essence behind and a reason behind wanting to segment your list. I've talked about that in other videos. You want to be able to identify folks who love IPAs or who love Tuesday nights at your business or whatever types of ways you can segment your list, because asking questions is always a great way to get emails opened up. The more precise the questions can be, the more powerful this becomes. I mean, here's a generic type of one. What's the best investment you've made recently? That would get folks to kind of open up. For a brewer, let's say you've just made a beer that you've been tinkering with and you feel like you've really knocked the ball out of the park. You could ask a question like, want to taste the best beer I've ever made? And then you'll dive into the fact that you've been brewing for 20 years. So questions can be a real powerful way to get folks engaged and want to know more about what you're talking about in your email. Now let's talk about including numbers. They provide structure, and the specificity of them attract the audience. Someone non-beer related, because I like to give you both examples. 7 steps to mastering email copywriting. There's another video I might want to make. But as far as brewery, a lot of times your time. We've been in business for 18 years. This is the best beer we've ever brewed. See how those types of things go. Wow, you provide some structure. You probably brewed a ton of beers over those 18 years. Gosh, yeah, I've liked some of them. Now, I'd love to taste the beer that you think is the best one ever. Numbers can be real great at stopping folks. It also stops the eye. I mean, a lot of times, whether it's on our phone or on a desktop, we're scanning our email list and the number kind of catches our attention and we stop. Same thing, obviously, with someone's name. Hey, Trip, want to taste the best beer we've ever brewed? That's also a great tool. It's kind of a bonus one I'm giving you there. Last one I want to dive into is emojis. Now, you want to be strategic, and you, in general, don't want to have like 15 emojis, and emojis shouldn't be used in place of words very often. The beer emoji, potentially you could do it. That's something that I wouldn't be opposed to testing, and let your open rates tell you if that works or not. The star one is there. The rocket ship going up is another great one. Let's say we're talking about an event and how great it's going to be, and you show the rocket ship. An American flag, if you're doing a July 4th one, natural tie-in, but be strategic about it. If you're just essentially look like an emoji farm, then the subject line is littered with random emojis, well, that's just not going to resonate with anybody. So definitely be strategic. But emojis are a powerful way. It's another element that helps with that scanning as you're looking through, whether you're going down your emails on your phone or on your desktop. So emojis can be great, but use them where they definitely make sense. So there's 8 different engagement elements, techniques that I've shared with you. Each one of them used on their own, and you can even combine them if you want. But start off simple and straightforward, trying them out. And what you want to do is get a sense of how your audience reacts. Maybe the shortcuts and quick fixes resonates the most with your audiences, or potentially it's telling the stories. Telling stories is always a great way to do it. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, and I'd love if you'd give me a follow right now. Go ahead in the comments, put send it. I'll get you this plus a lot of other information to help you better market your business. And until my next video, cheers. Here's to your success.